Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
All right. You were telling, I'm still, how's the sound now?
Sounds
all right.
I don't know. It sounds like Matthew McConaughey, so not so good.
But you told me to work on it. All right. Hey, how are you, Josh?
I'm good. How are you?
I almost ruined it. Because I call that the normally chunk. If I start to go into normally.
Right.
And I would
it's like
argue.
A bad autopilot setting.
It's right. And sometimes I would argue with myself. I would say, no. It is funny when you say normally.
We're talking about this again.
And then I have to come back hard with, there's nothing funny about it.
Yeah.
You change the spelling of the word.
Right.
And you're telling people, they say normally and go, I hate to stop you.
Right.
It's normally.
Yeah. Well, I have that thing about, like when I'm making something about, you don't want to bump people. You don't want to do anything that'll bump people from the idea you're trying to transmit.
Exactly.
And that's a total bumper right there.
It's a bumper.
Yeah.
It's a bumper. And you know what? I'm glad I called myself. This is my new personality. Okay. And you know what? I'm glad I caught it. My bad. Now people won't believe me saying my bad.
Self-monitoring is the best kind of monitoring.
Well, that's your whole plan, isn't it? By keeping me on the edge of being rejected all the time.
Yeah.
You ready to lower the boom?
I'd like to think it's not that deliberate, but there might be something.
No.
There might be something to it.
Might be something to it. Yeah. Well, I'd like to start out the show like we always do by saying it's 65 years old downtown Los Angeles. Coming up in a half hour, body aches and pains. I don't know.
I know. I think that's your best. That's your best one because it had a beginning, middle, and end.
It happens to be true. Oh, that's true. That's got to be how you hear it. So in your mind, you're just going 4 or 5. You either count or you use worry beads. I hear sometimes.
Sometimes the worry beads come out. Yeah.
I got that from a Real Housewives episode.
Yeah.
No. I got that from Mindhunter. No. Where did I get that from?
The Real Mind Hunters of Orange County.
You know, I'm mixing up a couple. I watched a couple of things. First of all, welcome home. How was you are the comedian canary in the coal mine. So I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
I don't mean that you're that seriously about it, but what's happening? What's happening out there?
Well, it was a super fun weekend.
That's great.
Yeah. No, it was really.
Because you were nervous going up, I think.
I was very nervous, and I was more nervous, I think, the day of is when I really buckled down. I had been writing some jokes all along, but I had to literally listen to tracks of the album just to reload them into my head. So I spent a few hours on Saturday just loading up. Both with the new jokes and the old jokes, and just trying to ingest data. And then at 5 o'clock, I just went, boop, stop, and just went, okay, whatever comes out now. Because it was only 20 minutes, I knew I could talk for 20 minutes in the worst case scenario. But the real concern was not the sold out 300 people Acme audience, because that's fucking easy,
I didn't know it was sold out crowds.
Yeah, they were all sold out crowds.
Wow, that's encouraging, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot.
I mean, not for me,
there's a lot of Acme love out there.
Oh, that's for sure. But there's a lot of people like me, Andy Kindler fear.
Yeah, you would have fucking had a fatal conniption in terms of the safety going on in Minnesota right now.
Okay, why? Why are they spinning on each other?
Sobbing in a fetal position in an empty room.
Well, is there some kind of active hookah? Is there like a hookah lounging all over town?
There's a very small percentage of people wearing masks anywhere.
Wow. Well, yeah, I guess.
There's less people out and about, but it's, in the room, in the room of the 300 people, there was, maybe, I don't know, there was under 50 masks being worn.
Wow. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I would have a mask on. Certainly.
Yeah. No, and as the week went on, I pretty much was like, all right, roll the roll.
So you kind of drank the Kool-Aid.
I drank the inevitability drink.
Yes.
And it wasn't, it was really undoing, 18 months of common sense that I've come to have. But basically the weekend was just alcoholic summer camp, because I had, and the set went really well. The set went fine. But my big concern was not the people, as I was saying. It was like the 12 comics in the back watching the show. That's who I was hoping to impress.
And was everyone positive? And
everyone was positive about everybody and anybody who, and yes, people seemed to really like it, but, who would have said the opposite? So, but I felt like, as I learned, I think I tweeted this yesterday that, it's my first setback in almost 2 years. And I think I proved that if you put me in front of a sold out, excited audience in a perfect room, I can hold my own.
Well, you're saying that's a low bar, but I think it's a high bar. The whole thing's a high bar. Life now is a high bar. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm coming out with book titles. Life is a high bar.
There's worse ones. There's worse ones. I'll be honest.
Yeah. So I don't know the whole thing.
But so COVID aside, everything was very fun. There was just no pressure. And everybody felt the same pressure I did about the 12 comics in the back. So, but it was fun to see people, and it was fun to hang out, and it was fun to see Lewis so happy, and it was it was all good.
Yeah,
and I've taken two home COVID tests now and passed. So.
Oh, you took the. Let me tell you some of my favorites.
I stopped at the drugstore on the way home from the airport.
That's pretty good. So now you taking your first one, or you taking both?
I took the 36-hour apart. I took them both.
Yeah, that's good. I don't understand. How are the numbers in general up there? Do you know what they are? Or
they're actually pretty bad, but it's mostly outstate, not in the cities themselves.
Wow.
Because it gets pretty red in the outstate Minnesota.
Yes, it does. But I always would think probably wouldn't take a gig now in the any anti-mask area.
Yeah, no, it was like, it was pretty free, coming from LA to that. It was just a lot of like, all right, this is how they're playing it,
All right, this is how. Well, yeah.
I'd go into the store with a mask, but the guy behind the counter wasn't wearing one,
So that is exactly different.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone wears a mask in establishments in Los Angeles, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, except that.
But no, it would have freaked the fuck out of you had you gone.
Well, that's the thing now is like everything that people can say, I have to weigh against, you might be right, but I could die. I'm like my friend, Chris, she got, COVID. And I know she's triple vaxxed.
Yeah.
I know she's okay now, but just the fact that how does she get, I don't know. I know that once I talk about 3 seconds, I won't be able to understand the science.
But even here in LA, we went out to dinner last night for Allison's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Allison! I know it's the best happy birthday wishes are the ones where you're prompted.
Yes, the next day.
But I saw it on her Facebook
do it secondhand.
page. I saw her Facebook page. So where'd you go?
We went to this.
Oh, you can't tell us. You're going to.
All right, I won't tell you. But we went to a nice restaurant with Allison and Elon, our son, and our nephew. And
how'd you feel out there?
It felt great. It was a sort of pseudo outdoor situation. So, but it's like now it's vax required at the door in LA.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
In bars, this at a bar. So that but it's like everyone walks in the door with a mask and then immediately takes them off because they have a drink or a meal. So
yes,
it's so the mask thing becomes really pretty irrelevant.
Right. Right.
But I, partially because of the weekend I just had, and partially because I think it's just my mindset is this is life. Don't be super stupid, but there's an element of risk in life now, and the vaccine is what is mitigating the true danger rather than the sort of sick inconvenience that might happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, like, like I'll go into a Whole Foods or a Vaughn, whatever it is. If I see high ceilings and I'm not going to be in close quarters, I'm not really worried anymore about that kind of thing. But
Right.
I'm more thinking about like, like I don't put in for the improv. I have no desire. At least I said to myself, I'm not going to perform anywhere for the rest of the year because I have no desire to perform anywhere, and nothing seems like high enough stakes. Certainly an improv spot, which I don't normally enjoy when I'm feeling good.
Right.
I mean, not that I don't enjoy it, but I mean, it's not like I'm champing at the bit.
Right.
So I just don't know. I guess,
I gotta say, even though like I had a great fucking time and I was like, hey, I can still do this. I didn't get the bug from it. I got the bug to work at Acme, which Lewis, asked me 5 times to come back in 22. And then so yes, okay, I will.
Yeah.
But
I just think,
but I go to Acme even if I haven't worked in forever, and Lewis is just like, be funny by Saturday. That's pretty much his attitude with me.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just going to be a strange everything. I'm not going back east this Christmas, I wouldn't have gone. And I had two of my family members died last year, so it's all different. I don't know if you were aware of that.
I hadn't heard. I'm sorry. I'll send I'll send a card.
No, a little bit late for that. A little bit late for that. So I think there's a certain not boring. There's a certain sameness to my concerns that I'm actually making progress in therapy about certain things like, I'm never going to not feel, it's always going to make me feel weird that, what we're going to do in the future because it's just been the weirdest time. There's no way for it not to feel weird, regardless of what I do. But I still weigh it at 65 years old. I'm not dying tomorrow, but I'm beginning to want to just do things I want to do, but that's just Pollyannish. What if something happens to my brother? Isn't that putting the...
I mean, maybe you don't put every egg in that basket.
I have.
It seems
every
like
egg.
you kind of have every egg there right now.
Why would I do
Have you gotten any assurances from your brother that
he has? Yes, he's at as long as he's alive, that I'll never have to worry about money. And he has also said that even when he passes on, he's made some arrangements.
Wow.
For him.
Well, good. Then your confidence is at least not just delusion.
Yeah, that's true. And also, at some point, I just feel like there's going to be a massive...
I mean, did you get anything on paper, Andy? I'm just kidding.
No, I haven't.
Thank you. You're the best brother guys ever have. I believe you've met Mr. Feinberg.
Is he my brother's lawyer?
No, that's your lawyer.
Why do we always have to have Jewish lawyers?
Because it's the only one-word way to say it all.
So I guess the thing I'm basically saying is there's a circular OCD reasoning to any conversation I have about next week or the future.
Right.
Because it all ties into, I mean, I have made some major changes. I do not watch any news anymore. I mean, maybe once a week or twice. I find like I'm almost, like if I saw Chuck Todd today on TV for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
I tried to watch the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and then the guy was like, just so upset.
Who, the judge?
No, Kyle.
Yeah, he was. He was a little riled up.
And I just can't. Everything looks. I'm not laughing at the situation that he looks like he's 4 years old, and he looks like he's a. Is he a young Nazi, or is he a kid who just ended up at the wrong rally? But the whole thing is depressing to me, and so I've done an effective job of tuning it out. But when we talk about the future, it's just like there's no way to have a comfortable feeling about what like I can go into an OCD thing about. Should I cancel Montreal now? Because I want to cancel everything where I'm, obligated to leave. But that's got to change at one point.
Well, I think there's lots and lots of gray areas in life right now, and some of it is, some of it can only come down to personal risk reward assessment,
I know it's just
and
weird
part of the risk is a fucking anxiety attack for you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
if something is going to give you months of dread or a constant elevated anxiety level, then it's a reason not to do it, you know.
Yeah,
but
makes
the
total
danger is going, I'm not doing anything, and then it's just like a slope to clinical depression.
Yes, I don't want that. I don't want that. And I want to stay active in my senior years.
Yeah.
You know that,
Sure.
right?
But maybe I know that this is sort of a crazy thing, you know, but maybe there's a project to start working on that's comedy related, you know, maybe there's an Andy Kindler book of some kind, you know.
Yeah.
I know that.
Oh, I thought you had one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, it's hard to imagine you sitting and writing a book, frankly.
Right.
You know.
But something.
No. You know, another hack handbook or another something that will, will keep you moving and growing without freaking the fuck out.
Right. And I'm not, but see, right now it's like I'm in the happy.
Notice I'm not saying it's a 8-track.
This thing about the 8-track, you don't want me to get the 8-track or you do?
I don't.
Why? You want me to borrow yours? I'm telling you.
You can
I'm
borrow
already
mine.
thinking.
You can borrow mine if that's what it'll take to keep you from buying something that'll make you go, I'm not playing with the thing.
I just have this image of me that if I have a internal, very negative internal voice I'm trying to get rid of, right?
Right.
But if I get rid of that voice, will I be doing Jason Alexander-y type things like singing on singing on Twitter? I got you
this is
under my...
It's like the alcoholic who thinks he won't be funny if he gets sober.
Why? I don't get that analogy. Explain that analogy to me.
You're saying if you lose your thing, you'll become Jason Alexander.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, I want to be right now. I have the greatest wife in the world because she allows me to sing in the shower. She allows me to sing pretty loudly around the house, and hasn't put a stop to it yet.
Right.
So, what's my point about that?
My only point with all of this, and we've been over this, I know, is play guitar. See if you want to play guitar before you start worrying about getting tracks down. Because
you are the wrong. I would never hire you for a life coach.
No, I think that's excellent fucking life coach advice.
I know what you're saying, but I will be happy if I get a gizmo.
Right, but
look what you do with the gizmos. It's gold.
Right,
They're
but I did not
gold.
buy it until I had a very specific task to put
I have
it to.
specific tasks. I'll tell you what I want to do.
All right.
I want to sing "I've Got You Under My Skin" on my Twitter account as my pinned tweet.
Okay, but you can do that with your cell phone.
No. I'm worried about the quality.
Okay.
You haven't heard my barbershoppy quartet. I understand what your point is. For example, I haven't changed the strings on my guitar in 12, 15, 20 years. So don't put the recording device before the horse.
Yeah. Wait until you need the tool to buy it is my sort of thing.
But the argument against that is that I actually my whole life have always wanted to hear how I would sound overdubbed over myself.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to do it because I only was able to do it when it sounded horrible because of the technology. And now that it's easy to do it, I'm convinced that I will have an experience. I'll be doing bumpers, stings.
All right.
I'll have a cottage
But when you say
industry.
it sounded horrible because of the technology, it was still your voice with some tape noise.
Well, now you're selling it to me how I sold it to myself. That I stink.
Well, I'm not saying
That's what I said.
But I'm saying,
I was like,
what I'm saying
I would say
is
a good singer could get a good sound on this 4-track cassette studio, and I'm not able to do it. Isn't that what you're saying? That's how I took it.
I'm kind of saying it's a poor carpenter who blames his tools. Yes.
You can't. I'm telling you. I'm
not saying you're a bad singer. I'm saying
I know that.
I'm saying that you maybe are a bad engineer.
Well, you have good ears. I've noticed that. Like you hear, like when so
Yeah.
you have good pipes, not pipes, ear pipes.
When I said I didn't agree, but I would.
No, I understand everything you're saying, and yet I still see.
It doesn't.
When
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm not worried about the money because it's not very expensive.
Right.
I'm just worried about the faulty emotional logic here.
True, but there is that part of me that's like, I know I see both sides. I see all sides to the middle. But I see
like
also
I have
the
this
point
very,
of-
very specific thought about a lot of things is when I think about a creative thing that I kind of want to take on and go, you're failing on enough fronts right now, Josh.
That's true. That I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to make an argument that's just such a ridiculous argument because it's like I think that there's things I could have fun with overdubbing where it would be easy because I find the whatever it's called Pro Tools, I find that very confusing.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming this is easier than those systems are.
it is, and that is the reason that I took it on that way.
Yeah. So, but absolutely, I have hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to prove that I am the Ralph Cramden of buying. Not the Ralph Cramden, but I do feel like if I had the Strat, I would be I could be in the Stones.
Right. And I've always been totally the opposite. I've been, you don't deserve the Strat.
Well, I also thought that I knew working at Guitar Center wasn't going to put me into the music business, but I did have some kind of false belief that it would be fun to be around.
Yeah, well, it felt like
not.
it's sort of a fingertip grasp at music. You're hanging,
it's just not
you're hanging
fun,
off
too.
the cliff of music there going, I just want to keep in contact.
Well, that's the type of things like if I fancy myself like like the guy in High Fidelity.
Yeah.
He's like a hip, he's got his own store and it's kind of hip.
Yeah.
I'd like to have my own store of some kind or a restaurant of some type.
Yeah.
No.
I go store over restaurant.
No, I think I would like to have Andy. Would you be involved in Andy's? Well, it's a terrible name. Food Central, Food 90210. How about if I do it based on my first joke when I was
by the way, first of all, will your backer be involved?
My what?
Your backer?
Gentlemen, I bring a lot of very positive things to this project. For example, I have deep pockets. I mean, not me, but my family does.
Right.
I guess that wouldn't help. It would in some cases. Okay, stop this. Stop it, Josh. You're getting on my nerves now. I wanted to tell you something that I started to watch the Sparks Brothers, but I was tired and I fell asleep. But I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
Those guys crack me up.
Do they?
Yes, I remember. They both seemed very funny to me in the interview segments.
Yeah. I thought, it was another issue with the movie being too long is that they're pretty funny, but they gave me long enough for them to wear on me. I
could see that. Well, I did say I did fall asleep. I did fall asleep, but it's so funny that your image of these two people are the same going in as they were all these years, which was like, I've always known they've been there and they've had an effect on my psyche. And I see the guy with the mustache he's like he's not like Groucho,
right? Or
not Groucho. Who does he look like a little bit?
Hitler?
Yeah, he's got something going on. Old timey. It's a little scary, but it's also,
Andy Kindler forgot Hitler.
But it also has like an old timey, like Our Gang feel, or
yeah,
to what?
Yeah, well, you can always argue Chaplin with that mustache, but
yes, and those two have an interesting.
They did do a chat. You could see there was a thing where they were showing outtakes from a Chaplin photo shoot he did.
Oh, I didn't see that, but like lines like where they go, well, how do you guys know each other? Well, we're brothers. When did you first meet? We're brothers. I like when they get annoyed, those guys.
Right.
And they both seem like very cool people, those two guys. But that's a bad review. The Sleepy Time review is not going to catch up. I only saw about 20 minutes and I started to drift off, but so far. And then I saw most of Bob and the Monster, which I enjoyed.
What is Bob and the Monster?
Bob and the Monster is about a guy named Bob Forrest. And he was kind of involved in the punk movement.
He was the punk. Is he the punk guy who became the drug counselor?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Like horn rim glasses and fedora hat kind of guy. That guy?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, and he's very interesting, and the whole movie is very interesting. So I give that one. I'm have 10 minutes left to it, but also I'm fascinated with that time period because that's when I moved to LA in like '78. So it's all about that early '80s thing.
Yeah.
And but then he made a lot of money, and then he kind of like alienated all his friends, and the whole it's a wild ride, Josh.
He's like rock and roll tough love guy now.
Kind of. Well, yeah. Yeah, but the other thing I want to tell you was that I wanted to ask you was is your stub toe unstubbed?
It doesn't hurt much anymore. But like last night after I was wearing slightly tighter shoes to dinner, it was still kind of spurting blood from under the nail.
Oh man!
But
the prognosis is good.
As it stands, the nail is still hanging on.
That's good. You mean you can lose a nail completely?
Yeah. But like I said, it doesn't hurt anymore, and it basically it only hurt a little when I went to Minneapolis, and it's gained most of its natural color back. I'm staring at it as I talk. So
you'll have a photo of it in the show notes, I'm assuming.
Yes, show notes.
What else is there anything I feel like there's something wrong?
Captain, it's the lull alert.
There's something wrong with me. I feel the old Kindler coming back.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing.
Well, the problem is I didn't load up on any docs this week because I was on the road.
Right.
But I drank so much, Andy. I drank so much.
Okay, tell me is that true?
Yeah, I drank a lot.
How'd you get back to the hotel? Was that a good release?
Yeah, it was totally fun, but it has been, it's been a long fucking time since I've stayed out on consecutive nights till 3 or 4 drinking.
That doesn't seem like you, but I guess it does seem like
well,
you.
it's a great,
I don't know.
It's not really like me. But I drink at Acme because there's a bar there.
Yeah, and it's a very friendly thing after the show. It is like Cheers over there after the show. And were there a lot of comics hanging out all week? Yeah,
it was very cool because there was he had a party on Sunday, so everyone who came, most people who came in stayed from the time their set over until Sunday.
Now I'm beginning to get a different feel of it. Like, you're all there all week, you're draped over each other, sweating with your drunkenness. You're lucky you're alive.
It wasn't a lot of sweating and slurring, but I wasn't that drunk.
No, I'm not saying slurring.
I'm pretty good at keeping my shit together, but
that's the thing that that's what I was going to ask you. The way you're making it sound like is you were standing on top of the tables and you were singing Old Lang Syne.
I said I drank a lot. I said I drank a lot. I didn't.
But no one could tell from you could tell with me that I've had too much to drink. Believe me.
I can tell with you. You had mouthwash.
I like the delivery on that. I
had to hard sell it.
But is that a joke about who cares?
You go down from a kiddish. How's that?
Is a kiddish
they're both small amount of alcohol jokes.
And is the kiddish
at the Seder? You get through 2 questions.
I don't want to say that he's an easy drunk. But he only needs Mogan. I'm just not on today, Josh. But, I want to say I want to blame my inability to stay in the moment, but I really do think that there's something else going on. I'm sorry. Okay. I apologize for that last little thing. And now I swear to God, I really feel like, what if I don't get out of this loop for the rest of our lives? I mean, I know it will end the podcast, but how about my marriage and everything else if I can't relax for a second? Let's just relax for 1 second.
All right, let's just do some breathing exercises.
Now I know what you're going to say, Josh.
What's that? Breathing
exercises does not seem like the best thing for the listener.
All right. No, this is for you.
I don't think it's going to help. I think there has to be. I was going to tell you that I made a breakthrough in therapy this week, too. But now it's not going to sound good.
Well, I think. Do you want to reintroduce it?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So I made a breakthrough in therapy this week, and the breakthrough
Oh, that
is...
doesn't sound good.
Oh. Let me try it again. Let me load it up.
Okay.
Do you call it loading it up in the business?
Reload in this case, I would say.
Reload. Let me reload it up.
All right.
So Josh, as you know, I've been to therapy, right?
Yeah, I've heard.
So I made a breakthrough this week.
Wow, congratulations.
Too long a build up?
Not yet.
Seems too
Not
long
yet.
now.
Now you're doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I realized that I'm because of the disease, which whatever you want to call it, OCD disease.
Or as Jake Hogan would call it, a stroke.
Yeah. For 1 second, I didn't ever get upset, but for 1 second, I said to myself,
Yeah, no.
is he saying I like a stroke?
No, you should always just go for banter with Jay.
No, I knew it, but I realized, you know what's interesting is I have a friend, I've had a couple people who've had strokes.
Yeah.
So it's literally not as funny a reference to me anymore just because.
Well, I would say that you both have reached the strokes aren't as funny age range.
Because what you're saying is it's not even that comfortable to receive it, really, right?
Right.
Hey.
Because you get to a certain age where everyone knows someone who's had a stroke.
Right, and when I was a kid, all of those things, either I didn't understand what the prostate was, or I didn't think of it as a real thing.
No, it was just an old man signifier.
Yeah, it's like if I had epileptic seizures and you said, looks like Kindler's going to have another seizure, and I really had seizures, that's a different joke than this guy in the front row is having a seizure 40 years ago.
Right.
But now, seizure comedy may not be as good, may not go over as well, just in general, because it's, I don't know. I'm probably wrong about that. Maybe it'll always be good.
I still will always win with, hey, can I get you a pencil for your mouth?
That seems cruel when I heard it that way. Excuse me, Andy, look, I don't know if you, don't take this personally, but do you need a pencil to bite down on? I'm not going through a seizure. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, then.
How about to write with that?
No. I was just concerned. If you don't have epilepsy, just continue on.
Right.
Frothing at the mouth.
But I got a pencil here, just in case.
That's terrible because that's not terrible. There's nothing terrible about it. But I did see someone go into a seizure on a plane next to me, and that scared me a little bit. But mostly
especially when you pretended to sleep.
Sir, did you know that the person next to you is, yeah. No speaker empathy. No speaker empathy. No. No speaker English or am able, no do good at impression of foreign man. Me do bad foreign man. That is really not true, but I will say that I didn't jump up with a pencil.
Right.
But it is intense to see someone have why do I have to bring that story up? The only reason I'm bringing it up is so that someone will go, have you ever seen anybody have a seizure?
Yes.
I have. Everybody has seen someone have a seizure because I've seen 25 people talk about it on planes. I can't be the only one who's seen it.
Yeah.
So it's not a good anecdote like you claimed for panel. Seizure, So the breakthrough I had, therapy breakthrough that I mentioned to you, Josh?
That you remembered you were telling a story? Because that's a pretty big breakthrough. Sorry.
It's not something to be sorry about unless I had dementia.
To keep making you distracted.
It's because if I had dementia and you knew I had dementia and it was like Glenn Campbell and it was 6 months before his death and you were making these jokes,
right? That
would be a little cruel. But why is he doing a podcast at that point?
Right.
He shouldn't have to be doing. So the breakthrough I made I'm sorry.
No, do go.
Okay. Is that, whenever I do anything, including, say I want to put, bagels in the freezer and I want to make sure that there's no air in the bagels. Uh-huh. I will never feel as if I did the job correctly. That is a feature of the disease. and I'm actually able to now let it go that the thing I'm worried about is
Trivial.
based on the disease.
Yeah.
Trivial based on the disease. And so, but the desire to be healthy, to not have the anxiety is just another thing that becomes an obstacle. Whereas if you can just relax, like, we went down to San Diego to see, Gina, and I was like, kind of like we rented a Honda Accord, and it was like, I kept holding the thing that opens the door. The new car, I don't know if your car has it, but I think most cars in the last 10 years have it. It's like a device. It's a contraption that that opens the doors of the car, and then you don't have to,
the key fob, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Is that what you call it?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a great key fob story when you're done with this, by the way.
Okay. And I want to hear it.
All right.
And so I'm almost done anyway. But the point is, so I kept saying to myself, why am I holding the key fob like a crying child? It's because my therapist was, I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm not home. So you will realize, I'm just a little bit more OCD. Then you don't realize you're not going crazy. That's just because you never acknowledged that there was stress or anything for the first 50 years. Just the acknowledging it stops me from, makes me more comfortable just generally. I know I went a long way.
No, but I mean,
you know what?
The analogy I would make is like cutting off an oil spill at the source.
True. No, but,
it's like,
explain that a little bit more.
I mean, the oil spill is a fucking problem until you cut off the source of it. And you're going, I have this problem. Well, I don't really have this problem except for OCD, which is making me think I have this problem.
Exactly. And if I could have said it like that, that's just the very succinctness. That's exactly right. And thank you for saying it in that way that made sense. And
if nothing else, at least you know that I understand what you're thinking.
Yes. And because what happened was, what triggered it was that, and I don't want to make it a sad story because I want to hear, I wrote down fob.
Okay, I got it.
Fob. Okay. You tell the fob story, and then I will say the follow up.
It's a fob sob story, is what it is.
Okay,
I'm ready. I was returning my rental car on Monday, and everything went great. I used all your advice.
What do you mean?
For returning,
in terms of how to get to the place?
For returning a rental car.
Yes. So in other words, you allowed enough time.
Yes. Although I didn't quite allow enough time to forget to give them the key and then get back there and give them the key. So I'm in the security line and go, oh, fuck, here's the key to the rental car. The fob to the rental car.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I hope they have another one.
And that was it?
Because I just really didn't have a choice at that point.
As opposed to me, if I get out, would you let me back in if I get out?
Well, no, I mean, what I knew would happen is they'd charge me a couple $100 at least.
Right.
But they'd have another key, and that seemed like a common rental car issue.
You can't be the first person.
Yeah. And so I was just like, all right, whatever, I'm going to take a hit for this. And so I got home, and there was a receipt in my email for $400. I'm like, wow, that's a bigger hit than I thought. And then the next morning, there was an email from the general manager going, do you have our key? We need it. I was like, yeah, I realized way too. Sorry about that. First of all, I realized too late about it. And then I got home and got the $400 bill. So I'd be happy to return the key, and I hope that will trigger a refund of that $400.
Well, do you? Aren't they going to say?
I mean, I said that to him, and he said yes, he will. Aren't they going to what?
Don't they? They're going to charge you something, right? $50
Who
for
knows
the trouble.
Who knows what they'll charge me? I think there was tax on top of it, so I probably won't get that back. But and I said, and by the way, even though, and this is what I typed, even though it was a quote rookie move on my part to not leave the key, it would be good if your employee might remind a customer rather than just go, "You can go." And he wrote back, I'm sorry, we trained them to do that, but it's,
So the main thing, the takeaway is you got someone fired.
I hope so.
No, No, you don't really. Yeah. Oh man. Holy moly. Well, I
FedExed the as a follow up. I FedExed the key back yesterday. So.
Now that's another thing that I can tell you that I've let go of. When I send the FedEx, I do not add it to my worry pile.
Yeah.
That's a big breakthrough from years. Like I would add it to, it's like, well, I'm not really worried it's not going to get there. I would convince myself, but I was a little worried. I've let that whole thing go.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I still agonize. Here's what I told Susan the other night. It's like cognitive behavior therapy is a thing, like can work for a lot of things. But cognitive behavior therapy, if you were going to say, I'm not going to go back and check my door to see if I put the alarm on, no matter how many times I might want to do it. I don't agree with that. Because I have been so spaced out that I didn't put the alarm on. So I will go back and check the pilot light. I'll do all those things of a category of things that I'm super worried about.
Right.
But then if I've let go of everything, almost everything else, whereas in cognitive behavior therapy, they try and make you really use exposure therapy to have you overcome it.
Right. And thought stopping.
Right. And thought stopping. And I do that too. I am able to, like, for example, if I see, oh, you're on the Julius Sweeney is your father and there's no God, I can puncture those very quickly.
Right.
So I'm recommending therapy to people.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you've gained a tremendous amount of compassion for yourself as opposed to excuses for yourself.
That's a very, very, and so exactly what you said is exactly true. And I just want to say the major breakthrough I had was when I was down there, I started to get into this mode I had in my early 20s where I never could convince myself that I hadn't hit somebody in the car that very day.
Right.
And the feeling never went away. That's what happened to me down there. I started to get that feeling again, but just having the therapy and having all that, it just went out of my expectation that it would stay with me was incorrect. And it just went out of my head. And also I learned things from it, which is my main thing is to slow down. As soon as I start speeding up is when I screw up. Even something simple as like, I didn't, you probably know this. Everyone knows this, but I don't think about adjusting the steering wheel when I get into a rental.
Yeah.
So now, but I get back and they go, why do we feel like tiny people the whole time, Susan? And then we realize, oh. So in other words, I guess what I'm saying is like a lot of my worry things is like, you can't see over the steering wheel. You're going to kill somebody, as opposed to, why is it you're feeling uncomfortable? Oh, right. If you slow down a second, you would, and
like
you would realize that you could adjust it.
Base level mindfulness, kind of.
That's exactly what it is, which that's what I aspire to. I think that's a pretty easy goal.
I think it is too. But it does take it. I'm sure it does take, a conscious effort to go, don't get wrapped up in the
yes.
get wrapped up in the more deliberate acts.
Well, I knew that I had to get the car back by 10 a.m. and the person said 2-hour grace period to noon. So when I was driving over there at 10:30 in the morning, I was already nervous. See, they said the grace period, but what if I get there? They say 10 o'clock means 10 o'clock.
I've learned there's nothing more dangerous than giving Andy Kindler a grace period.
It's true. It is true, but they don't know me that well over there.
Right.
So, but then
it's not in your customer profile.
No, I think it is generally people see me coming, but I said, no, it's 10:30. If it was noon right now, Andy, I would allow you to be nervous, but you have plenty of time to stop and see if this steering wheel adjusts.
Right.
And I think so much in my life, I didn't have time to check on you on the way back. And what am I rushing to? What am I accomplishing? You could enjoy life so much more if you just slow down. But I did notice, Josh, I think I tweeted about it, that I am like that I literally am the turning into my parents' Progressive commercial.
Yeah.
Because like I'm leaving the car rental place and I couldn't tell if it was push or pull.
Right.
So I say in a semi-loud voice, how do you get out of here?
All right.
What? That is, why am I saying that to people?
See, but I have to stop you here, Andy, because the Progressive commercial is about young people acting like old people.
I can't accept that. I can't accept that. That really is a painful slam. I have to say, that's a slam that I appreciate, but it does
Take a look in the driver's license.
But do I look like really like a little old?
No,
little
but
Jew?
you are the age of any of those people's parents.
But why don't you just say that I look? Well, how do I know I don't look like when I would say to my sister, you couldn't tell if she was in the car because she was 4'11"? I mean, how do I know? You'll tell me when I look. Maybe you never look that bad. That's all in your head, right?
I'm not saying this has nothing to do with your appearance, Andy.
I don't.
This is purely by the numbers, friend.
I know.
65 degrees here in downtown Los Angeles.
65 degrees. But I'm not scared of death anymore, I mentioned to my therapist while weeping yesterday.
She laughed.
She laughed. She goes, "Oh, that's a good one." I said, "What are you mocking my fear of death?" No.
Are you mocking my fear of death?
She said,
let's think about it. What's to be scared of? I said, well, I'm not going to be here anymore. Oh, she goes, I forgot. Now, she's not Rickles.
What a loss, she said. And then at the end of the session, she said, I believe you're out of time.
No, I mean to get better. What? If I hear one more person say, wait, what? It'll be the 1,000th person. I'm seeing it in things from the 50s. They're going back in and not only are they colorizing movies, which I don't think they do anymore. Right. They're adding in, wait, what?
You
wait,
can't
what?
walk out on me. I'm Charles Foster. Wait, what?
What? I'm just trying. Oh, I was almost going to do the voice of the woman in It's a Wonderful Life.
You once called me a whoop, frustrated. Wait, what?
It's Pottersfield. It's Pottersfield. Get out of here. Wait, what? Look, Laura. What's her name again?
Who
can't play the piano?
Janie, I believe.
Janie. There's people who can do, and there's people who can't do, and wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, this goddamn banister. Wait, what? Okay, I'm getting too loud.
Why, sure, Clarence. Yeah, right. I've never been bored. I get it. Wait, what?
Come on, there's got to be money in this. This could be a whole show. This launched the Comedy Network back in the 80s.
Yes.
All they had was clips like that. Coming up is a wait, what clip? Wait, what? Oh, I feel good. I feel good, Josh.
Right.
I feel almost like after we've had sex.
Yeah.
Why do you?
I don't hear you crying though.
Susan pointed out last night that Stephen, it's not Stephen Miller. I don't believe that was his name, right?
There is a Stephen Miller.
Keep on rocking me, baby.
Oh,
how much money he must be?
Steve Miller, yes.
Yeah, he's rolling into. I can't think of a movie or a show that his songs are not in.
Yeah, he's done well for himself. He has.
He must be nice.
Yeah.
But didn't you tell me he's kind of a jerk? Or someone told me he's.
I have heard many anecdotes about what a prick he can be. Yes.
Well, because he seriously is saying he's the pompadour of love in a way.
Well,
he is saying he's a space cowboy.
Some people call him that.
Right, but he is kind of like saying. Like, I would never write a song like that. I'm going to rock you to the ground and Karen.
Right. Yeah. They're big giant hits though, Andy. That's what you're
right.
saying. Yeah.
Right. Are you saying I can't? Here's what I thought, Josh, and tell me if you disagree. I feel like the best way to write a great song would be I don't think I have enough money in microphones.
Yeah. Right.
If I have a Neumann, right?
Right.
One of those Neumanns.
Right.
That's the difference between stardom and not stardom.
That shit writes itself once you get the right gear.
Right.
Yeah.
Take a guy like Beck. He wouldn't know a song if I hit him in the head.
No, but he's got two turntables and a microphone.
Exactly what I'm saying. This is a great. If we were a comedy duo, we would have been one of the best, and that's saying nothing.
We're so good. We're finishing each other's Beck jokes.
We might have been one of the top touring acts ever. And that's saying nothing.
Right.
Because how many...
And then once his brother promised him eternal safety, it was over.
It was the ultimate prank show when his brother told him. We thought it'd be funny if his brother told him, I've got you back.
For years, he worked without a safety net. Once he had one, it was over.
Oh, you don't know how excited I got yesterday when, dear Andy, your Medicare card is on the way. Right?
Sure. Look for a man with a hood and a scythe.
Is that a scythe?
Yes.
Joe Namath, I have to admit, is starting to get on my nerves a little bit, that commercial.
Yeah.
It does not wear well.
Yeah.
Because he seems to be trying more. You did much. This call now.
Well, the other thing that really kind of makes everything one cheese ball higher is because it's for old people, like they literally like subtitle every word said in the center of the screen.
Okay, but that is that group of commercials, I really do find them highly entertaining. They're almost as good as the you need a picture frame. And the best one, I know I've talked about before, where $9.95. I laugh just thinking about it. What's with the $9.95 all over? Oh, you noticed? Today is the day we are calling. How stupid are we as Americans?
Ow, it's not TV, not TV. It's those commercials that get me. It's not TV, not TV. It's those commercials that get me.
Are we that stupid, Josh?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So you're saying that
yes.
Those commercials are effective?
Well, I don't know about that. People might still be too stupid for them.
Do you think there's anyone so stupid, and I hate to do it like a Bill Engvall bit, that they actually would go, oh, they bundle? That company bundles if you go with auto? And is there anybody who actually buys that? That can't be effective advertising.
Well,
also, why is insurance the only thing for sale now?
Well, is that true on other channels than the news?
No, I think I'm watching only cable, right?
Yeah.
I see when I'm watching regular network things, they're telling me about Charles Schwab. Who can afford Charles Schwab? I think this is like a bit I've done before, so I'm not going to do my financial services industry. I do get worried sometimes that we are a country that only makes pharmaceuticals and sells them at a higher price.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like a sustainable model, no.
I keep thinking to myself, boy, I'm getting to that time period where we would, and I want the folks to know that I was ready to go 10:30 this morning. That's not where the problem.
Andy was on the dot today. On the dot, people. And I let him down. I let him down.
Yeah, you let him down. It's so funny because when you are a narcissist and you are like somebody like who suffers from my condition, you might turn around and go, what's up with him? Right?
Right.
When you've never been late in your life. Oh, great. 10:30. What does 10:30 mean, Josh? But I can't pull that off. I am amazed. See, I think it's such a good, to me, I feel like you have such a better life than me because you're always on time, but that's just not true.
No, there's a lot of other reasons.
How'd your Zoom meeting go? How's everything going? Can you talk about any of your projects, or is it not time to talk about them?
I'm racing ahead with Rich Scheidner.
I love that you're working with Rich Scheidner because
I do too.
I love him.
I do too.
I love that guy.
I really do too. Which makes me happy because because it's his project that I'm sort of interloping on. It's pretty fucking important that we get along.
Yeah,
I'm not interloping. He invited me to interlope, but
right.
Still,
It's not like you.
I'm the one. He's done the work till now, and now I'm going. Well, let's change this and this and this and this. And this.
Yeah, you don't do any more of that where you start out as a peeping tom, and then you see what the person's doing. Go, hey, I actually have skills in this area.
Right? No,
this is you're invited in.
I stopped that after the arrest.
I am just going to have to be comfortable, which I am comfortable with that. I don't know what's going to happen in the future.
That is the kind of energy I can follow. All right. Good to be here. It is I have to confess, this is my first time on stage since pre-pandemic. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're in for some rusty shit. Woohoo! But they say stand-up is like riding a bike. People my age should probably stop doing it. But it's good to be here. This is my first time on stage as a 50-year-old. Yeah. No, do not applaud at fucking 50. Do not. 50 is not an applause age. 80 is an applause age. And that's only if they go 80 years young. But I don't mind being 50 so much. I mind being a 50-year-old white guy, which is like the logo for everything fucking wrong in the world right now. So.
I'm just a nice little Jewish man. I'm not here to oppress.
But yeah, I'm 50. I don't know if I feel 50 or not. I don't know what that feels like. It's old, is what it feels like. I know my hair has fucking abandoned me. Not cool. And it didn't do it cool either. It wasn't like a nice... If it was a male pattern thing, it was like fucking Salvador Dali pattern thing. Because I had like this skin comma in my head, which gave me pause. My body is not really... My body's falling apart, really. I'm having back surgery next month. I just met with the surgeon last week, and he explained to me that they actually are going in through the front. And I'm like, I could turn around.
Good evening. Good evening. Get it?
No, I don't.
It's the morning.
Oh, shit. I should raise my shades.
Hey, it's 8 o'clock at night. Did you go to that thing you were supposed to go to?
What?
That's going to be our new laugh bumper. Andy, I do the bumpers. He saw me too. He saw me too. He saw me too. Did you know that I finally found out what that was?
It's a Japanese conglomerate.
Shh. So I finally did some legwork on it.
Yeah.
So at the end of one of those commercials, I go, he saw me too. I didn't know where it came from.
It's Hisamitsu, by the way.
I know that, yeah, but this S is silent? So anyway, I go, sounds like a guy. Then I go back and I look at the Salon Pass commercial, which I should have looked at earlier. Why not?
Sure.
I like salons and I think I could pass. He saw me too. He saw me too. He saw me too. It's the guy who doesn't get the job, right? All right, take it again, Andy. You ready? Yes, I think I got it. He saw me too. I am saying too. And then I ran to the TV. They even have a visual of it on that commercial. That goes by so fast you can't see it.
Yeah, no, there's a logo attached to it.
I know. And it got me very interested, and I learned a lot about, and I'd like to do an oral report for you.
Okay.
He saw me too. Was started in 1942 by a guy whose name was Matsushima. Okay, that's it. Maybe I'll prepare one next time.
All right.
No, I just want to let you know.
Doors open.
Okay, please.
But the only problem was that you didn't end it with,
he saw me too. It's never ending. I can't get it out of my mind. Susan loves it. Last night, Susan was so sleepy, I was going to record it, but she was already sleeping. She was taking a little nap. And I said, come on, say it. She goes, you saw me too. You saw me too. I mean, it's sweeping the neighborhood.
I say ringtone.
What does that mean, ringtone? Oh, ringtone. Well, they can't. You can't.
I'm so glad you jumped in before I had to answer. What does that mean, ringtone?
Well, I don't really know what it means, but I thought I've asked you too many questions. I know what it means. It's like the guy in the Minnesota courtroom, your friend Bruce Schrader.
I don't know to what you were referring.
He is the horrible white supremacist judge who is in charge of the Kyle Rittenhouse.
Ah, no. See, that's Wisconsin.
Does it matter?
Yes.
You know,
I know you people from Jersey don't think it matters, but
hey, I went to Minnesota and I stayed over. Oh, I watched a movie Did you see this movie was about stand-up called International Falls?
No.
Well, I think you should see it, maybe.
Is that a reference to the place in Minnesota?
Yeah. Is there an International Falls for real?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so it's Rob Hubel.
I believe it's the northernmost point of the lower 48.
Yeah, and you can see Canada from there. So it's Rachel Harris. You know her?
I know the name, don't know the face.
She stars as a person who works at the front desk, and then Rob Hubel. You know him? Hubble?
Yeah.
You do know him.
Yeah.
He is the lead. He's an kind of a comic who's at the end of his rope.
Okay.
So I just had to watch it. What are there, 2 movies about stand-up?
All right.
This movie, at least in the audience shots, it didn't have, well, it had the usual, she's going to do well this time, she will do poorly this time. It had that kind of thing, and he did very poorly because it was his last show. But it had some interesting things in it, but then didn't have some interesting things in it. Like it had a predictable ending.
Right.
Do you care?
I don't want you to tell me the ending.
Okay, spoiler. Okay. All right. But maybe you'll watch it because I think there's some good things in it.
No,
it was crowdsourced or something.
Oh, yeah. Where did you watch it?
I think it's on Showtime.
Okay.
Do you get Showtime? What are you, an investigator now?
No, I'm a guy who wants to watch the thing you just recommended to me, Dick.
No, but dickhead, look, fuckface. No, but really.
No, I meant Dick like investigator.
Oh, yes, private dick. My dick was private until that one time I saw a pretty girl at the opera, and I thought, why not take it out and see if she likes it? It's just that I saw Louis C.K. do it.
Yeah. The problem was she was in the middle of her aria.
It's not over until the lady's not able to sing because I hop on stage.
All right.
Have you heard me sing opera? Because
it's not over until the fat lady calls the authorities on the perv Jew.
Do you have to? Isn't that extra? Isn't that redundant?
No.
Perv Jew.
No.
You heard me.
Why are you perpetuating these things?
I did another one the other day on Twitter. I perpetuated another Jewish thing. Oh yeah. Lou Schneider said, I'm nervous. I feel when I spend money that I shouldn't have spent it. What's that called? I said, it's called Judaism, and boom, 13 people liked it.
Hello.
Okay, do you make the mistake of thinking, I know it's an ego-based thing, but I get the mistake of thinking that fuck, what am I? Okay, sorry. I get the mistake of thinking I'm on a roll or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
On Twitter?
On Twitter, I guess. Yeah. I don't know, Josh. I apologize. Not only do I apologize, you can say, look, okay, now you know what's wrong with you. It's not going to get fixed.
All right.
I can't understand. What did you just say? I think you said night-night. Did you say night-night?
I believe that you are not the only person whose self-importance gets inflated by Twitter.
I know. That's true. Who else? A lot of people.
Yeah, most, I think.
But who was I going to talk about? I was going to say something specifically. Okay, look, I made a new rule.
You started with Lou Schneider. You replied to Lou Schneider and got, and some people scrolled down.
Right. 13 people liked it. It's obviously gone. That was the thing I was previously talking about. If I had trouble remembering that, I have trouble remembering that.
We'll go back and look in your like journal.
Hey, ha ha ho. Well, that story went nowhere, but we don't have to have stories go anywhere today, right? It's Letters Day. I made sure, like I always do, to get early on the letters thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep, Josh, and I'm not sleeping well.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. And I don't know what to say about it.
When's your last Adderall of the day these days? Honesty,
yeah.
Andy. Honesty.
Honesty is such a... What kind of a word is that, would you say?
Such a lonely word, but...
Right.
Uh-huh.
He's a terrible lyricist. Can we just admit that? You're never going to go, before I die one more time, blame me Piano Man. Can you think of one? Okay, forget this. All right, so look.
I think She's Got Away is a beautiful song.
She does. I mean, not that she does. No, he does have good lyrics in that one. And also, you love Ebony and Ivory.
Only your cover of it.
No, wait a second. That's not the song they did together, but they did a song together, right?
Who?
Not Paul McCartney.
And Stevie
Wonder. Right, but it was the other person I was talking about.
I think you're thinking of Baby Grant.
Yes, and with Billy Joel, right?
Billy Joel and Ray Charles, I think.
That's a nice. This could be fun.
You double fucked it. Because not only did you mistake black people, you mistake blind people.
I know, it's good. It's good all around. It shows that I care about people. I'm listening and I'm present.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did mix up Billy Joel. Who did I think was having a thing? You know what a good song is? The song is not. I'm not a fighter.
Andy, slow down. You're in scramble.
Okay.
You're in scramble mode now.
Okay, no, I'll get you back. I'm not a fighter, Paul. Oh, you know that, Michael? Michael, I'm not going to fight you over this. I'm just telling you, the girl who ha ha. That's a bad song, right?
The Girl Is Mine.
Actually, I'm thinking it now. I'm starting to remember a couple of things that I like. She's not understand the way you feel. She's ba 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 ba. Is it in a specific key?
Yeah.
What key would it be in?
I don't understand the way you think. Saying that she's yours, not mine. Okay, but now they have the talk back and forth. Look, goddamn
Michael.
bitch is mine.
That's right. Hey, look, Michael, get your hands off of my lady. Fuckface. You know that you did those.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, Michael.
Yeah,
Paul.
and what about. Ba-doom, boom, boom, bam, bam. That was the son of your time then.
It was.
When we all liked Paul McCartney. Boom, get it? I went the other way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what bothers Susan. And
Yeah.
I forgot to take one can off.
Okay, but you never answered my last Adderall question.
I was ready to do it, but
All right.
then you went on to something else. I'm ready.
What time of day are you taking your last Adderall?
Oh, no, I just focus on the fact that if it's past 4:00 in the afternoon, what am I complaining about? Or 6, let's say 6.
All right.
But it is past 6, so no.
All right.
I have nobody to blame but myself.
I'm not trying to assign blame. I'm trying to get to the core of the problem.
I don't think it's always Adderall, but it doesn't. I think the point that you're not making, but that you are making, is that it's a psychological component to it.
Well, or a physical
component.
a physiological component is what I'm saying.
Right, but the psychological thing is I don't want to go to sleep. So at 5, I go, I'm not going to go to sleep at 7, am I? You know, it's like I always.
And do you have and what's the like when I was a kid, I didn't want to go to bed because I thought I would miss something.
Right. Why do
now
I
I know? Now I
bed?
know better.
It's it's not a complicated thing, but it's a many-leveled thing about if your whole life you've been, yelling at yourself all the time that you're lazy and all this kind of thing. So, what was your question?
So you think if you stay up, you'll get the thing done that you were supposed
That's
to?
it. Exactly
Okay.
it.
All right.
Yes. So, and I feel guilty when I go to sleep, but then there's also a thing if I don't want to go to sleep, I don't like the bedroom. And Susan and I both have a problem about the bedroom. And it's not a genetic thing because my father, boom, my mother could never sleep.
Yeah.
That's true.
I spend no time in my bedroom other than sleeping for that reason.
Yeah, but you seem to have a very healthy thing. I mean, you're in bed by 10 at the latest.
Not the case.
Okay, so I lied. But you have a routine.
I will say from my weekend at Acme, 4 a.m. is too late for me.
And you were drinking.
Yes. But those nights I slept fucking great, I have to admit.
Yeah. Although I don't
The
drink
night I
well,
drank
right?
less at the party, didn't sleep that well that night.
See, I find that I don't sleep well from alcohol. It's like an anorexic.
No, it's generally not a good strategy. I would agree with that, but for some reason it worked out well.
And so what are you going to argue with? It's like you went there to have fun.
No, I have no regrets whatsoever.
That's so good. That is so good. Very happy about that. So it's really.
And I took a third COVID test yesterday just to be sure because I was feeling a little coldy yesterday. I think it was more the winds than it was, but still negative.
And the thing that that you would worry about, but I don't think you were in that category. You're not in a category where. Do you think you're in a category where a breakthrough infection would hurt you?
I don't know. I sure see a lot of, the hillbilly version of me in the hospital when I see these news reports.
Oh, I thought you were telling me that J.D. Vance was in the hospital. I would have been so happy.
But these people, yes.
Do you know him, right?
Oh, yes, Hillbilly Elegy, douchebag.
I said he was a douchebag the first time he went on a show. I'm again right. I should win something.
Yeah, you are. You maybe get a business card that says douchebag visionary.
Because you know how he made. I don't know if we talked about.
I
this.
see douche people.
I never saw that movie. Is it Seven? No, it's Signs.
The Sixth Sense.
Yes, was that a good movie?
I eventually saw it, but I called the ending from the trailer.
And isn't
Allison and Elon went to see it, and she came back, and I went, "Is Bruce Willis dead?" She was, "What?"
And the guy at one point goes, "Bruce, I'm seeing dead people. What do I do?" He says that, right, in the movie?
Something like that. Yeah.
Hey, I see dead people. Stop it! I told you not to watch the monster movies. That would be me. Yeah. And that's what my parents told me. Mom and Dad, I'm hearing like voices and things like that, and I'm 4 years old or 5 or 6, and I'm scared. Well, you shouldn't have watched the monster movies, should you have? Should you have? Hey, Mom, there's a burglar has broken into the house.
She thought of it as comfort scolding.
Mom, a burglar has broken through the house, and he's slashing my throat. Well, maybe you should have thought about that before you left the window open.
Maybe you should have worn a turtleneck, like I said.
Can you at least call the cops? Oh, sure. I call the cops. You don't learn your lesson.
And the whole neighborhood sees the cops here.
But that's exactly right. That's why they wouldn't want the cops there. And they wouldn't want someone to give me CPR because it would draw too much attention to the house. Right. Oh, my God. They must have trouble at the
Stop shouting clear.
It's the perception that there's trouble in the house. The perception, you wouldn't let them say clear, Mom, when they were. That's not true. My mom wasn't that. I'm sounding like my mom was, I should have put her on a duffel head.
A duffel head?
9 heads in a duffel bag, I meant to say.
Ah, okay. So she would be the 9th, because I think it's 8 heads in a duffel bag. No. I'm thinking of Throw Mama from the Train. Ah, okay. In a duffel bag.
Which I remember enjoying that movie the first time I see it, but it wouldn't hold up, right?
Well, I think the matricide theme still resonates with you.
That's not what I'm about. I'm more attracted to sleeping with my mother. What?
I don't know why I keep going back to that today.
Are they sure Oedipus wasn't just a guy who liked to swing? I smoking a cigarette now, Josh. Hey, this Oedipus. I don't know why. Because I don't do cigar tags.
Right.
Now you have your thing set up. This is the thing that makes me very nervous, is that you already have, and I have not set it up yet. But should I set it up now, or is there more stuff to catch up on?
Set it up. I'll play the theme song. It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
I think I'm ready to go now.
All right, scroll down.
How long is the song?
I think it's still going.
Okay. Pickles says, is that right?
Yeah? Hell yeah. Pickles
says, why bother having a junk drawer if there are no fingernail clippers in it? That is this Pickles? Is this observational comedy that Pickles is?
I think so.
But it's not comedy that would have been around during a Buddy Sorrell's time.
No, but it's still true to life, born of actual human frustration kind of comedy.
I was watching an episode, which I hadn't seen in a long time, where Buddy comes and he stays with Mary. It's not Mary, with Laura and Dick Van Dyke.
Rob. Okay. If we're going with character names.
Rob. Rob. And he has to stay at the house with them.
Yeah.
And he's worried, the whole premise is he annoying? And boy, is he ever. I thought he was hilarious when I was a kid. Every line.
Yeah.
But the point of this episode was that he was coming to their house and getting on their nerves.
Right.
And he had no problem accomplishing that.
There's an old Jew in the house is the name of the episode.
For real?
No.
That's so funny because they would name a show like that today.
Right.
And then they would still claim that they couldn't say things today. You couldn't say that today.
Right.
You couldn't have All in the Family today. Okay, I'm done.
All
I'm
right.
done
Jack Barker says, if you could go back in time and kill anyone, but it couldn't be Hitler, who would you kill? But you have to do it with Hitler helping you in kind of a buddy picture.
You know, I'm going to tell this Jack fellow, Jack, you better be sending these ideas and protecting them, because I will swipe, and I don't normally like to swipe it, but a buddy picture with Hitler, that's what sounds like my dream.
I was just wondering if you were going to do an act out. That's why I paused.
Do you know the old Jewish joke about the guys and they want to kill Hitler? So they, you know this one?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope he's all right.
That's a really good joke.
It is a good joke.
I hope nothing's happened to him. It's so good. Even the people who have murdered us in millions, we're still concerned. We're still willing to go too codependent. I hope Hitler's not mad at me.
All right.
You know everything. I can't surprise you. Well, not with a Jewish joke.
I believe you told me that joke. I just retained it.
Richard Cole wants us to know, Josh was right to remind Andy it was presumptuous to think I knew he had a bit about Simon and Garfunkel in one of his routines. I'm an inquiring mind, so I asked.
Here's what happened, Andy.
Okay, because you can tell. Oh, hey, we love you up here, Andy. Join the Just for Laughs touring company and come to Canada. Sorry.
That's all right. We have dog problems happening here, too.
Are those your dogs?
That's yeah.
That is not my dog.
So what happened was he asked if you went to the concert in Central Park, and then you went immediately to, does he know I have a Simon and Garfunkel bit?
Oh, yeah. Oh, so he's kind of mocking my bit in a way, but also just joining in on the fun.
No, he's mocking your narcissism.
Oh, I don't think I'm narcissistic. What did you just say, though? I couldn't focus on it because I was looking at my hair.
Tom the Tom says, does Mr. Douche Doc Reviewer Corner get its own sting? It might. It depends unless I change my attitude.
Is he calling you Mr. Douche?
I called myself Mr. Douche Doc Reviewer.
Oh. Well, you're a tough. Well, here's the thing. If people are going to get a review from you, they know that you're going to get. We go to you for the real deal.
That's right.
You go to Andy Kindler if you go, what'd you think of it? And I say, Bob and the Monster was excellent. I watched the end of it even. And it was excellent, but it was made in 2011. And I'm realizing a lot of things on Amazon Premium or something, they're not new sometimes.
They're not so
or
new.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Not new.
No.
But they sell it as new, kind of.
Well, it comes up the same.
Does. And who says this? Someone says this, right? Jason, backed by unpopular demand, Parton says, or demands, Andy, can you please delve into the reasons as to why I should throw my girlfriend from a moving car? I was riveted, but didn't get all the information I needed. Thanks very much. Still waiting for the Aerosmith tickets. 1-800-5800-TOP. 1-800 and now call up in the next hour and tell me why you should push your girlfriend from a moving car. Why? It's one of the best Tom Leykis if you don't listen to James Adomian or an actual impressionist.
No, I think so. I think so too.
Okay, thanks.
Because I don't.
You don't think it's good?
No, I don't listen to James Adomian or other real impressionists.
Oh, but you also don't listen to that guy that much, right?
Enough to know that it's gold what you're doing.
See, I don't trust this.
I know. There's like sarcasm coming out, but I don't know how.
No, but it's not bad, right?
No, I think
1-800-5800.
Anything you dedicate yourself to, pretty much comes out.
Yeah. So why am I portraying myself as a bad impressionist? I'm not a bad impressionist. I don't have a great ear. You know, You have a great ear, and when I say that you have, I used to teach guitar. I know I've said this many times. The fact that I don't have a great ear doesn't necessarily mean I can't do good impressions if I dedicate myself to it. And it doesn't mean anything even necessarily negative about somebody. It just means you have that ability. But I also think it comes from you hearing, he saw me too.
Huh?
It's from you hearing, he saw me too. So you've been hearing those since you were a little kid.
That's right.
Yeah, and I was able to convince you not to pretend you were falling asleep.
Like I said, as a kid, it was by Manon.
So good. So good.
Ginger Snap the dog says Josh.
First time from Ginger.
No, not
Maybe
the first time. I had a problem with the whole premise of the dog tweeting last time.
Oh, okay.
So this is a response to that. Josh, my master got the message. Coincidentally, I am being sent upstate to a farm where I can play with lots of other played out conceits, where I won't have to worry about the vagaries of internet culture. A long, restful life. Farewell, Andy. I know you loved me.
I would say this is one of the best questions.
I don't like the Josh killed a dog conceit any more than I like the funny talking dog conceit, really.
Right, but I think to a farm where I can play with lots of other played out conceits. I like that.
Yeah, no, that was high quality, but I'm just saying it threw me under the bus too. So,
well, no. And the thing is, I would never throw you under the bus unless it helps. It helps me in my game. Tweet Bahara says, "Oh, we forgot to do it. Yo 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 yo." Why didn't you join me?
Because there's no Yoshi Yamamoto question.
Oh, I was confusing, sweet.
Tweet Bahara asks, stuff.
I don't know if you were seriously confusing the two or what.
Stuff happened and I missed. My dumb guy voice is at an all-time high.
Sure, it was your dumb guy. All right.
Stuff happened and I missed last week's show. I apologize. So what did I miss? Please be specific. Pacific, I always say. I'll take my answer off the air. Oh, you're asking the wrong guy tweet. You can give him the rundown, right? But shouldn't he just listen to it? But he is a regular, so maybe we should give him a sum up.
He can look at the show notes.
I thought you said there weren't show notes.
Shh. Duckman says, am I the only...
Hey, Duckman. You sounded like, was that your Miller? Dennis Miller? Hey, Duckman.
I can make it more that way. Speaking of which, I saw Rich Miller in Minneapolis.
Oh, cool.
Hey, man. Good to see you.
He talks just like, he sounds a lot like a Miller.
There's a strong family thing going on.
How about Jimmy? He sounds like a Miller.
Jimmy sounds like a Miller, too.
When they all get together and they look at Dennis and go, you're an asshole. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Is it me?
No, it's me.
Okay.
Duckman says, am I the only person that listens to the podcast more than once throughout the week in case I miss something? Anyway, the way J. Elvis Weinstein describes Sparks is the way my ex describes Tim and Eric. It's like everything's an inside joke and you're not in on it.
Well, I have, I know this is a little bit off the subject, but I have to admit that I don't get some of the Tim and Eric stuff. Do you get all their stuff?
No, but I honestly haven't ever really taken the dive.
Well, when you're not getting it, it's because they don't want you to get it, or it's just strange stuff.
I would say one of my least good qualities as an artist is my incuriousness about other people's work.
I think that's outstanding. I don't think you should change. Don't change a thing. Chaotic Neutral has a lot of things going on all week and always comes up with something interesting. What am I, a host of an internet Twitter show? Chaotic Neutral says, hey guys, following up on last week's Maddow question, I read that she renewed at MSNBC but is leaving the nightly time slot. She'll do deep dive specials instead. Reportedly, she's worn out from doing 10-hour days on the show. Unlike some podcast hosts,
we're worn out from doing no work.
No, you do work. You do work, but you're not worn out from it because, yes, you are. All right. I liked that earlier because, I just want to acknowledge, thank you, Chaotic Neutral, for telling me that. And also, Brian Williams' show is ending. And I just want to go on record, if I haven't already, as saying it should end because he's become like a, both sides, guy who brings on that Rick Wilson guy just to bash Democrats. So, but why is he leaving though?
Because his contract is over and he either couldn't get favorable renewal terms or he decided he was old and done.
Well, I'm not, I liked him. I was very happy when he first came back on, and I didn't, the thing about him lying, I felt bad for him in a way and all that, but he has just come back and, the direction of the show is terrible. But my question is it someone that, who is the people that I'm thinking of, who are they keeping? I just got confused that they're keeping someone while he goes. I don't know what I was going to say. Sorry.
Yeah, was this a Chuck Todd?
What do you think?
Was this a Chuck Todd swipe?
That's exactly what it was. Thank you. Oh, we could play bridge together.
Yes.
Because you've worked. Well, I don't know. Can we get this to our benefit that you have tried to save an old man so much that, you're looking at me with those searching eyes? Would that help in bridge?
In clubs.
Have we talked about that they've caught people cheating in bridge? I know your mom played bridge.
My mom did not
No,
play
she
bridge.
didn't.
No.
Les Ogilvy's mom was a bridge champion.
I can see why you would confuse me and Les.
You don't like Les?
I don't know who Les is.
Oh, he's one of my best friends.
Ah, well, great.
And I played
That's great.
music.
That's great.
No. I played music with him for years, and I was in a band with him called the Schmaltz Brothers.
You know what I say? I say the less Ogilvy, the better.
And that's Andy Kindler's laugh version of Le Cucaracha.
Here on the big one. 65 years old.
65 years old. We did it at the same time, Schmoopy.
Yeah, Spoopy.
Okay, you do the next one.
All right. Bandicoot B says, Josh, I am also of the single kidney tribe, mononephrotic, I like to call it.
Ooh.
That was me. That was my commentary, not
I
Bandicoot
like
B.
it.
Josh, I am also of the single kidney tribe, but I was only born with one. The urologist said it's common. As a single kidney haver, have you ever changed anything? When I first found out, I did some diet stuff, but didn't stay with it. My doctor only said no contact sports.
Oh, that makes sense.
I think my doctor kind of went, yeah, I probably don't have to warn him about contact sports when he saw me. But no, the only thing I was told is don't do Advil anymore. No non-steroidal anti-inflammatories.
I thought those work on the liver, though.
No, that's the acetaminophen hurts the liver. The ibuprofen hurts the kidneys.
Oh, wow.
And maybe a little bit of liver thrown in, too.
But occasional IP for someone like me with two handsome kidneys.
Yeah. No, I think occasional use is fine, but there's a lot of habitual users. And I even I'm sure I've said this before, but last time I was at the doctor, I was proudly going, I haven't had an Advil since the surgery. And he's like, well, if you needed that, he was kind of it's a guideline. Yeah. It's a guideline, not a law.
That's true. But, when at the end of the day, it's good that you,
I was disappointed. I really wanted some praise. I really did want some praise for that for some reason.
Well, I am noticing that a lot about myself, that I want praise or to be loved like a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
And if you realize it, there's nothing wrong with that. Just keep it in your pants. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But you don't hate yourself when you notice that, right? That's why I'm in therapy.
Right.
You go, oh, I acted that way. But, I must apologize again for trying to present you as you are better adjusted and you are more together as a person, maybe? Oh my God, this sounds terrible.
Maybe.
No, you are. But I don't want to, it's a bit that I'm doing, presenting myself as a fuck up.
Yeah.
It's a bit in a lot of ways. I'm sorry. You know what? I apologize for that. Give me tinnitus. I like that name. Give me tinnitus says, hey, on test show 227, you all mentioned that Wilco, Billy Bragg collaboration. Their cover of Woody Guthrie's All You Fascists is a truly killer tune. And it gives the address. Do some of you recognize it?
Do either of you?
Do either of you recognize? You're not going to fire me from this job, right?
No.
Okay. Do either of you recognize it from Majority FM? I would have to hear it first.
I mean, you can play it for yourself if you'd like, but I'm not putting it on the show.
Okay, well, I'll play it later, and then I will contact you, give me tinnitus, and just send a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Chaotic Neutral once again rolls the 12-sided dice to say, hey, guys. So I heard Brian Williams is going to step down the nightly show soon. I know it's not going to happen, but how would you feel about Oberman coming back?
I wouldn't be. I mean, I loved, I don't know if you ever talked or you've talked about it too much, but I loved the Oberman show when it first came out because it came out during George W. Bush time period.
Right.
But then he just got very strident, and I don't think he could ever come back from his stridency. I don't even think he likes to do these shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't be drawn to it if he came back. And I like Keith Oberman, and I can even
like him too.
I can even say, and he likes me. He was,
right, because he likes MST 3000 a lot, right?
And he was like the first guy, one of the first press people to.
And he has a very good sense of humor. Well, he actually has a better sense of humor than he is, than he's in a good mood. But he was like hilarious on ESPN. I mean, I think he's a funny guy and everything, but
Yeah.
I think he got too intensely into stuff for me.
Yeah, his sense of his own gravitas is off-putting.
Right. And, not again, but everybody has these things. But if you don't admit that you have those things, then you can't look at it at all.
Right.
You know?
I mean, as a
No.
as a sportscaster, like that extra sort of newsy thing and wit and acidy quality is compelling, I think.
Yes.
But
yes. I agree.
As a news person, it starts to blend into the high pitched squeal of partisanship.
But I never watched. I mean, I could tell he was funny, but I never watched ESPN. So you watched him back in the day, then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in a lot of ways not the only guy doing that, but he was the guy they were known for his kind of humor, right?
Yeah, I think he helped form the sense of humor of Sports Center.
And I loved it when he first had his show, and you'd hear about him.
And he literally, at the beginning of Sports Center, he used to make Mystery Science Theater references on the air.
You know, didn't he also make Andy Kindler references at some points?
I just remember him doing a third thing.
I was doing a door song. I said the night became the thing, and then the thing became the thing. Stopped and do, you're a Jew. Okay, Josh, I'm sorry. I just realized, why are you happy that you've turned into a 10-year-old? Why are they still going with the gardening today, Josh? That's got to be not authorized gardening. Is it you or me?
It's you.
And what are we saying? Sue, Dan Wade, your turkey, Veed. I like that. Sue, you have to really, I'm slowing it down and taking all the fun out of it, but it's Sue, Dan Wade, your turkey, Veed.
And do you understand that?
Yes, okay. I do get it.
Okay.
Because sous vide is a cooking thing.
Right, but Dan Wade has been doing Dan sous vide your turkey Wade.
Oh, I had not paid attention to that because narcissists wouldn't catch something like that.
Right.
I was at a gender reveal party with my good friend Babs, and she said James Mason would bore people on set about his love for Rice Krispie treats. Seems strange, huh? I think that Sue is mixing up the word strange with contrived.
I think you may be right. Though I do remember a certain craft services person who had an almost supernatural knack for making the Rice Krispie treats. Or maybe it was simply the deployment of the Rice Krispie treats at the proper time. But whatever the case, it became the center of my universe.
But you don't really like Thunderbird wine, right? I mean, that's just a commercial you did.
Well, I think it has an interesting taste.
No. You sound like a pitch man. I'm
what?
saying
No.
It tastes terrible, and in a lot of ways, you endorsing it wasn't such a cool thing.
Well, I'll call you next time you turn down your endorsement opportunity.
I have not turned down one thing yet, but I still can say I don't do commercials now. Because you refused to them? No one's asking me. Is it you? Is it you, Josh?
I believe it is.
Oh, Josh, I believe it's you. Take it away with the
Shiftless
question.
Element says, question for Angry Bob Dylan. Oh, great. Great. That's fantastic. Absolutely Sweet Marie contains the line, I'm just sitting here beating on my trumpet. Is that a dick joke? Thank you for your time. What do you think, dumb fuck? Of course it's a dick joke.
Hey, this is a fan of yours.
It's a fucking dick joke, douche.
Dude.
Oh, dude. Ooh, I don't get it. Bob Dylan's a poet for the masses.
This guy obviously needed you to say, if Shiftless Element is a guy, needs you to say, I'm just sitting here beating on my penis. That's what he'd say, if you're really the truth teller, right, Bob?
Right, it's called poetry.
I can't really argue. You know, Bob, I don't care how mean you are.
1,000% dick. Absolutely.
Bob, I don't care how mean you are. You're the greatest songwriter, as in my opinion. You're up there with the top two. You're my hero. I just want to say that.
That's nice of you to say, but nonetheless, blow me.
Oh, I wish this was and without my camera. Stephen Elton Yates wants to weigh in with, which Beatle are you most like? Which Beetle are you most like? For me, it's Paul and Dung. How long do you think, Stephen? I think he puts time into that. And I'm not laughing at this.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying he's always funny.
Yeah, I don't think that's what you were getting at.
I was getting at the fact that it seems like it could be a haiku too.
Yeah.
I'm most like, of course, John is what I would always say.
Yeah.
I am like I'm not like an actual Beatle because I'm too handsome.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
All right. I would say I'm Paul because of my whole control freaky thing. And no other reason. And I would say I'm like a Dutch elm disease Beatle.
Hey, am I remembering something wrong? But did Paul McCartney try and change the credits of who wrote the songs? That doesn't sound cool.
And I believe he did in his new book actually flip the credits on the ones.
Is it? What was his thinking?
It was McCartney and Lennon on the ones he wrote. He wanted because he was worried about his name being cut off in internet searches. I saw him once speaking about that. That would be now suddenly it'd be like by Lennon Mac.
That's not. You see, for me,
yeah,
that's not attractive.
It was unbelievably depressing to me at the time. It really was. It was like if Paul McCartney can't be fucking secure with his legacy, we're all just fucked.
That is an absolutely true statement.
But it really did. It really, honestly, and it really did make me rethink the whole idea of legacy, things, surviving past me. It's like I really, honest to God, don't care anymore because I've seen so many things, and I talked to Allison where it's like she'll come home. It's like, nope, they didn't know a Beatles song, or nope, they hadn't heard of Monty Python in any context whatsoever,
Right.
And you just go, all right, well, then just make good work and die, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The thing is, but the other way to look at it is that now that I'm in therapy, people are capable of being petty. Everybody is. So you would think that that's such a big would be that you would know, hey, if I go in there and start saying, hey, I'm not getting enough McCartney searches, that people will think I'm a evildoer.
Yeah.
But, you know, blind spots.
Yeah.
So can it make you still say the music is still great and maybe they're just he's just human?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's all it signifies, but it was
still disappointing.
It was certainly disillusioning.
Yeah, it's like if you found out he was a serial killer tomorrow, you would
that was like 10 years ago, and then it seemed like he mellowed out and started having a little more kind of sense of humor about his Beatleness. But now that this new movie is coming out and he's getting back defensive again, I'm seeing more of it again. I
feel bad. It's so funny. I feel bad. I know I don't have to feel bad for him, but I feel like he struggles with his personality, so that it just, it's like you would think he would be as comfortable, right? I know what you're saying, but he has an ego on a massive scale, probably. It just shows that obviously success does not do anything about your feelings about yourself.
Right.
I think it's a weird deal, though. It's like finding out that Ringo doesn't tip, which I found out.
Really?
Yeah, but now, I mean, the only thing is, if the story's not true, but it was on the best show from an actress, and I'm just saying actress so people can know. And she said it was absolutely, they even went out to the car. It was at some place in Hollywood. I think it was at either Spago or I think it was Spago. And then they went out after him and said, Ringo, you didn't tip, because I didn't tip. Say that you don't tip in a British way.
I don't tip.
But Ringo, this is how they make their living.
No, they make their living seeing Ringo.
That's right. That's what he thinks. That's what he thinks. You saw him, Ringo, tonight. You should owe me money.
That's $1,000 story. I should get a rebate.
I think we've covered the topic.
All right.
Clear.
Captain Kangaroo says, Jelvis, did you see the new Dune? Thoughts? Satisfied with the choice of ending? Should it have been shorter? Longer? Won't ask Pappy Kindler, because I know that show's on way past his runtime.
Is that a show?
No,
it's a movie, right?
It's a movie.
Oh, okay.
I have not seen it yet. I would say there's probably only a 50% chance I will. But I can tell you right now, it should have been shorter. And I probably have some issues with the ending, because I know it's setting up a second movie. Well,
I know I should be familiar with, but are you familiar with Dune?
I am. I read it as a kid. I mean, I didn't really internalize that whole much of it. And then I saw the David Lynch Dune, which was not a good movie.
Is Seth Dick the next on your thing?
I think it's you, Seth Dick.
No, but because that last letter was not in my docket. I don't know why. So, okay. Seth Dick III says, Mama Dick III thinks Jennifer Garner is wasting her career doing credit card ads. I say, if she can park her carcass, lovely. I love the language in the Dick home. I say, if she can park her carcass, lovely as it may be, at home and get those fat stacks from the usury folks, why spend 12-hour days on set playing Ryan Reynolds' wife in a lousy film? Well, I know that Josh's position on this is going to be, you should make hay when the sun shines. My position is, I don't like to see anybody doing something that annoys me, and her commercials annoy me, but it doesn't, you know what I mean? I don't have I understand. I mean, how can she not do them?
Yeah, but I also feel like if you're Jennifer Garner, it's partially your fault the commercial sucks, because you have the amount of clout,
right,
to dictate how the commercial goes and if it makes you look annoying in your opinion.
Yeah. Well, have you seen them?
Yeah, over the years, sure.
Yeah. Maybe I'm too hard on them.
I just feel like you got work, take the fucking work. If it does something for you, if it puts money in your pocket, if it accomplishes some other goal for you, take the work.
But I also think if you don't need the money,
this whole entire industry is built on a house of shit right now.
Well, yeah, I mean,
no one knows where the money's coming from. It's once the stock market crashes, this whole industry is in a different place.
Yeah, but the thing too, though, is that you can say, it's just an observation. If I say, look, when someone I know doesn't need the money and the commercial's not very good, then I can make the observation, hey, why don't you take some time off? But no, maybe that person has lost all their money. I mean, the money thing, like you say,
especially if I'm an actress, I make hay when the sun shines, for sure, because actresses' careers are ridiculously much shorter than men.
Yeah. No, I have a financial guy behind my career. Yeah, I have my brother who's got.
Oh, do you?
Why don't you read Mama Dick III before I come down there and something?
Mama Dick III's responses to Seth Dick's question of why spend 12 hours on a set playing Ryan Reynolds' wife in a lousy film, Mama Dick III responds, I don't know, integrity?
Hey, I didn't know there was a Mama
Guys,
Dick.
keep it at home.
Did you know there was a Mama Dick before this?
Yeah.
Has that been around for a long time?
Oh, yeah.
1 following, 4 followers. Why am I laughing at that? You know why? Because I'm laughing because whoever is Seth Dick and Mama Dick,
I suspect it's the same person. Let me just go on
That's
that
what
limb.
I mean.
Let me
That's
go on the
what I mean.
limb.
Yeah, it's the same person. That they would continue the ruse.
Yeah.
With this little reaction.
Yeah, no, that's been around a long time, Andy. I'm afraid to say.
I know. I'm proud of them. Gomar. How am I not? What's that?
Gomar Comer is the style guide, the thought spiral style guide pronunciation.
Oh, I don't have one of those. And he asks, gentlemen, I'm on the line with Giuseppe's, and I'm putting in an order for some hot za. What would each of you like on your personal pie? You know, I'm actually put off by za.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But I do like mushrooms, and I like pizza without anything on them the first time, so I can try the place out. But then I do like mushrooms and pepperoni sometimes.
Yeah.
What else do you like?
I've become a big green olive fan. I was always a black olive guy, but the green olives do a lot of work.
Boy, we are not. That's very. I wonder if that's because you're from Minnesota.
They bring the saltiness of an anchovy without the grossness of an anchovy.
One of the things is I think your palate is able to distinguish more than just salty, sweet, like mine. Salty, sweet. Spicy! Oh, spicy. Too spicy. Oh, I'm doing Adam Sandler.
But I like a meatball, and I like a meatball green olive mushroom. That would be a common order for me.
Right.
I like sausage. I like pepperoni.
Yeah.
I hate green peppers. I don't think onions add much to a pizza slice.
No, I think onions are bad. And green peppers are bad. Red peppers are good.
No, not there either.
Like I said, don't put red pepper, but that's what I was saying.
Keep the bell
Anchovies
peppers away.
occasionally. Anchovies occasionally I've enjoyed on pizza.
Yeah.
You don't back me up on that?
No, I don't.
Well, you know what? I can't even talk about this any further.
Richard Cole says, Josh, what do you like doing in New York City? Andy, what are your favorite things about Minneapolis? If you responded to my other tweet, ignore this one.
Well, I don't think we have to ignore it.
My favorite things to do in New York City are eat, always. If there's I've gone to a Broadway show, but my really favorite thing to do in New York is some showbiz mission, either performing or going to a thing, or My favorite thing to do in New York is get attention there.
I just wanted to say that before I answer in Minneapolis, I'd like to say that what I like about going to New York is visiting my. Don't laugh. You unkind.
That's not they're all dead is the point.
You unkind goon. I would say that I like everything about Minneapolis.
Wow.
No, not everything, but
you wouldn't like it how much they fucking wear masks. I'll tell you that much.
No, I won't like that. I mean, the thing is, I judge Minneapolis. I would say it's it's like up there with my favorite cities to go. I mean, I always have fun when I go there. Always, because the design looks good. The restaurants are good.
You're welcome at the club you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. What's not to like?
I did a show with Erica Rhodes, who last time I did a show with her was the show that you didn't come back from your hotel room bathroom in time for your introduction.
I just remembered that. Everything's horrible about that story. The fact that a grown man needs to go to a hotel to use a bathroom.
Yes.
just everything's terrible. No, it's not terrible. It's also the other way to look at it is like what a charming, eccentric, old, doddering, beloved comedian he is.
Yeah, there's a little column A, a little column B there.
Yeah, it's not. It is. Yes, it's sad. Yes, it's pathetic, but it's also a little charming.
Right.
All right, I'm done with that. Is it me now? I can't. Okay, I think it is me. I love this new part of the show where I go, "Is it you?" Dan Wade. I don't know how to pronounce this. Dan Wade, Dua Lupe. Is this another thing that's been going on?
Yeah, this is.
Who is Dua Lupe?
It's Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa is, I think, how you said it.
Who is it? What is it?
She's a pop star.
Oh. I'll say, oh, you mean like Jessica Simpson? Okay.
Dua Lipa?
Dan Wade, Dua Lipa's uncle asks Jingle Bells Batman Smells first appeared in 1967 and within 2 years was universal. However, there seem to be regional differences about the last line. The Joker got away. Commissioner broke his leg. The Joker's name is Fred. The Joker took ballet, etc. Your take? I don't even know the original.
Well, I can only sing it to you as I learned it.
Okay.
Well after the 1967 debut, I might add. It was Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin laid an egg, Batmobile lost its wheel, and Joker got away.
Wow.
So that's how I learned it, was the Joker got away. Select option A. But I would agree that Commissioner broke his leg is the rhyme.
Right. I'll only say
and
that.
It always bothered me that there wasn't a rhyme there.
Yeah, well, it should bother you.
Yeah.
Well, what bothers me is that I've gone through about 8 or 9. I like that old Batman show. I don't, oh, that is a funny show. Oh, okay, but the joke about it, you get it in the first step. But bing, zang, zoom, schmacky, schmoom. And I've gone back and forth, and I love Adam West, and then I don't care about Adam West. So now I just think I'm too separated from it emotionally.
Well, the good news is it doesn't fucking matter.
That was good.
My own private...
That was like a nice way of you saying, would you just shut up?
My own private NaNoWriMo says, what's the best thing about living in the valley?
Well, if you can't... I think it's that if you can't find peace in the valley... I don't remember the rest of the Dawes lyric.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of good things about living in the valley, and I probably feel that there's more than Josh because I've lived here less time.
Yeah, no, I'm much more curious because I don't have anything I have only lived in the valley.
Yeah.
So you can contrast. It seems to me that life is a simpler thing here than, say, on your former West Side home. In terms of running errands and having places to park when you get there and all that.
And you think that's a little thing, but it's not. It's a very big thing. It's a very big thing because the main thing is comparing my last neighborhood to this neighborhood. There's no comparison. I just am so much a happier person because the west side that I was living on is West LA, and that is not the West Side. If in terms of, do you want to live someplace nice? Are you in the Pacific Palisades there? No. Are you in Santa Monica near the beach there? No. But are you being charged as if you were? You know it. So I'm just so thrilled in so many ways.
Yeah.
But, I don't go golfing or anything. And I guess I'm always looking for the next restaurant. And the thing I get tired of everywhere I've lived, no matter where you live, is the restaurant choice around you starts to drive you nuts.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would say, I mean, compared to like almost any other place in America in a suburban-ish setting, our restaurant selection is fantastic.
Yes.
But compared to other parts of LA, the best restaurants don't start here.
Right, but like compared to the South Bay, which I lived in for a long time, there was no variety. Maybe it's better now, but there was no variety of food. There wasn't anything like the Valley.
Yeah.
Why do I? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to brag about me living in the South Bay.
I understand.
When I was 45 years old. Hey, it is 1978, and I think Kindler is. Wait, don't tell me. Don't tell me, Josh. Josh, don't tell me. I think I'm 20. I was born I was almost 22 years old when I drove out to the West Coast. 22 years old in Los Angeles, and very scared. And taking traffic school. I think I was in comedy traffic school, not that long after moving out here. That's how long that form of bad comedy has been around.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was that big only because there was a comedy boom?
I believe so.
That's sad to think about. You remember when you used to go to the barber shop and the guy would do 10 minutes? Remember when everything had a stand-up component?
Yes.
You go to the jeweler and you go, can I see something bigger? Something bigger? Who are you? Liberace? I'm not saying that's an example of good comedy, but I'm just saying. And I also want to say one more thing, Josh, and I will never bother you again. I do believe that I'm single-handedly responsible for deconstruction, but we've both added to it in our careers. Being influenced by Letterman. So I apologize for any influence I had on the current spate of commercials that just references and jokes. Just makes a reference to a thing in lieu of humor. Do you know what I'm saying it badly, but you know what I mean? It's become a whole thing.
Just give me squeeze out one example.
I'll have to come back later with it.
All right.
I know it's really frustrating when I can't be. It's like any commercial where the joke is something I'd see admit. Yeah, I'm too nervous. Right. I'm not coming up with it. But when I do come up with two examples, you'll go, "Oh, yes, you're right," and I don't care or something. But now all you can say is, "Put a pin in it, Andy," and when you come back with an actual example. But I'm just saying, it just seems like I have an ego or something.
Is it the meta-ness that's bothering you in these commercials?
No, I'm saying, yes, the meta-ness, because it's now become shtick.
Yeah.
Because meta-ness is now a bit.
Right.
Like there's one that even goes, something like, have some fries, have a couple of more jokes. Like that. But again, without having the specifics, I will now listen to it and come up with 7 of them and meet you in the park.
All right, good.
Greg Kelly Blue says, if you're like me, gambling makes sports so much more fun to watch on TV. Maybe Howard Cosell can host a weekly segment where folks like Frontline Guy and Cat Stevens can pick NFL games. Or Mr. Kindler could argue with Mr. Weinstein about the Jets Chiefs over and under. No. When you give an impressionist who doesn't do impressions very well a choice between the Weinstein bit that he never seen or Roberto Dobisona Peru, I'll always go with Howard Cosell. I feel like I'm in the worst sketch group ever. I'm not because of you.
Spotlight on Eddie's impressions now. Yeah.
Well, I think you should take care of the other two.
Right. I can't because I'm just not into sports gambling. To me, sports gambling ruins sports for me in the sense that it now attaches a bad decision of my own to something that really had nothing to do with me before. And I was okay with that.
True.
I mean, I totally understand how it raises the stakes for watching. But right now I can watch the Lakers lose a heartbreaker and go, oh, they blew it at the end. But if I had a bet on it, I'd be like, fuck, I blew it.
Yeah. Yeah. It adds it's another thing. It makes you, yes. It's another reason for disappointment with sports. And there's already a lot of reasons, especially if you're like me and was diehard Mets fan. So the only reason why you're watching is your team has to win. So why do you want to add another? I'm with you on the sports gambling thing.
Years ago,
Also,
I was on a show where one of the writers had a bookie, and I placed like 3 bets that I had really high confidence in, and I won all 3 of them, and that was it for my career.
well, you don't have those. Yeah, you're not a Well, you're compulsive. You can be compulsive.
Well, I mean, I've been sucking on nicotine in various forms for 35 years.
Right, but it's weird. It's not across the board.
Well, it's because I know that about myself. It's like, don't do coke, Josh. You're a fat smoker. It's like, you've shown the addictive personality that cocaine loves.
Josh Weinstein in Fat Smoker.
Denture wearer.
So, Josh, I see you enjoyed the I had nothing there. Sorry, I thought I had something. Jim Meehan. Is it Jim Meehan?
I think it's Jim Meehan, and I would go to his longer question because his shorter one has syntax errors that I don't think we'll be able to parse.
Jim Meehan, who is a personal friend of mine, by the way. Before the show.
He puts the me in Meehan.
I haven't sent a comment or question in a while, but I've been listening, Andy. The band you were trying to remember several months ago was Black Oak, Arkansas. Was that Jim Daddy to the Rescue?
Maybe.
Is that group?
Maybe.
Jim Daddy to the Rescue. Well, give me another Black Oak, Arkansas song.
I can't.
Well, who does
Andy Kindler.
No, I'm not conveying that one well. It's like Sweet Home Alabama. They're not Sweet Home Alabama, right?
Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner, right. I was going to say the people who have the Confederate flag, but for the good reasons.
I hope Neil Young will remember. Southern man don't need him around much anyhow.
Give me a little Leon Russell.
I can't do Leon Russell.
Oh, okay, I can. What would you think if I sang? See how I do? I used to work in the clubs. I would try to fool the people.
Yeah.
I would go into someone different, but they go, that's not who I asked for, but that's a good joke.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me?
I have to admit, I don't say that I do great covers.
Yeah.
That guy does great covers. That is the best. Oh God, maybe I'm so lucky that I have a podcast to fall back on.
Yeah. And if you'd like to support Andy's podcast to fall back on, go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral.
And if you want to see Andy hang up on, as the night became the thing, and then the thing became the thing, stopped and do, you're a Jew.